Hey guys, SK here, back with another Clash Royale video. Hope you guys are all doing well. In today's video, we're going to be going over Betfas' final 3.0 Xbow Cycle games from last season, Season 45. If you guys didn't know, he was the #1 3.0 Xbow Cycle player and Xbow Cycle player in the world, finishing at 3,600 medals, number 11 in the entire world. Absolutely incredible performance. I was able to catch some of his final games at the end of the season, so in this video I'm going to be going over his games, giving my analysis, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the video. Let's get right into the matches. Alright guys, we found our game against Kuri, or rather Betfas has found his game, and so I'm just going to be doing some more end of season analysis content for you guys. I know a lot of you enjoy this type of thing, where I spectate some of the best 3.0 Xbow Cycle players in the world, end of season, and give my commentary over them. It's also really nice for me because I usually do not have time to compete at a very high level, especially as the last few months, because you know I started my boot camp and I've been really busy with all my classwork. But yeah, I do obviously still really enjoy watching the best players do their best, and so today we're going to be watching Betfas. He's currently at about 3,400 something medals, I think, and he's just going to be playing some games today. So we're up against Kuri. Kuri is one of the best players in the world. We're expecting to see a lot of really good players right here. Unfortunately, one Wallbreaker does connect there in the left, and yeah, we're going to be up against the world's best here, against some of the really hardest matchups, I would say, because this actually isn't the best meta for 3.0 Xbow Cycle. As you can see, Kuri right now is playing Mighty Miner, Poison, Wallbreakers, which is going to be a really bad matchup if he plays it well. Betfas goes for the Xbow, is not going to let the bomb tower just get infinite value, and he did set up for this Xbow with the Knight in the back, so notice that, because Knight in the back is a pretty solid play. Ice Spirit is going to help against the Miner, and Skeletons do come down. Really nice play there. And Kuri does go Wallbreakers, kind of a misstep there because he could have played them on the Xbow, I guess, but maybe that's what he wanted to go for. Betfas can Xbow again if he's back to it. I don't know if he's back, but he should definitely recognize that he's up a lot of elixir right now. Might actually just Xbow right here. Okay, goes opposite lane, really nice stuff, because that was a really smart play out of Betfas, if you guys can see, because he baited out the response on the right with the knight in front of the archer, and then decided to go in. So that was just wonderful gameplay out of Betfas, and gets a huge lock in the left for it. Goes archers, Kuri does go for the Wallbreakers. I believe Betfas should be back to a log in time. Yep, double elixir does save him, so that was a really good play, basically elixir counting, and that's one of the best ways you can beat this matchup in single, by making them overcommit once, you know, catching them off guard. Again, Kuri, I feel like, did make a mistake with those Wallbreakers, splitting them and going goblins in the other lane, just 4 elixir, where he could have just gone 2 elixir Wallbreakers on the Xbow and just been done with it. But anyway, Betfas is probably going to be going in the right now, even though he has a huge lead in the left. This is something I always tell you guys, but especially against minor Wallbreakers and any kind of control deck with a big spell, never play same lane as them, because you don't want them to be able to hit your Xbow and your weak side tower with their spells. So Betfas does get another lock. Wow, that's a huge connection actually, and that is probably going to be enough, unless, okay, Betfas does not protect the Xbow, but he might go for another Xbow with this knight. In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if he did, because he is up elixir right now with this knight on the board. Kuri goes for another minor goblins push. Notice how Betfas is going for archers to take out the goblins up high. Split archers so that one of them will help out with the Xbow as well, because that is very important. And unless Kuri is back to Wallbreakers, he is. I was going to say that's going to be a lock, but it's still going to be a small lock, I believe. Yeah, you get a little bit of damage, and Betfas should go in again right now. Kuri goes for the bomb tower, predicting it, which is a really good play, because he basically had to do that. But Betfas goes for a fireball last second, which is also really nice. Really nice play that you guys, if you didn't know, you can make, where you basically go for a last second fireball, and you do want to catch them off guard. Also, really nice Tesla by Betfas there. He knew that that minor placement on Kuri's end is where you can tank for an Xbow opposite lane. So he knew that the miner was probably going there, so he placed a Tesla predicting that, and obviously was able to catch the miner, preventing any tower damage at all. So as I have been saying in my recent videos, big part of this matchup, #1 is getting a lock, #2 is damage mitigation, because if you sack too much damage, you're just going to be down too much. So Betfas is making sure he's not taking too much damage at all times, and does get another lock in the right. So at this point, Betfas is up 1.2k damage. This is not much considering it's minor poison, mighty miner. Like, they can literally just spam minor poisons, like 3 minor poisons in 20 seconds. It's really stupid, but I believe we should be okay here. So Betfas does go for another Xbow. Ice Spirit in the back to predict the miner, as well as the knight to try and catch it. Do log as well, and Kuri is going to go for a miner in the back. Betfas knew that, catches it, Poison comes down, but I believe, okay, that Wallbreaker does connect, but so does the Xbow, thankfully. If that Xbow didn't connect, that would have been really dicey. But Betfas does get another lock. Notice again, pressure while defending is very important here, so that Kuri can't just spam minor poisons haphazardly on the tower. Betfas is making sure that he does get damage. That's just going to be a fireball range, so that's going to be a really nice win. Kuri gets a good game, very well played out of Betfas against minor poison for the first match here. Alright guys, so Betfas is in the next match against Ian77. This is Ian, one of the best players in the world. That game put Betfas just above 3,300 actually, but I decided to kind of split this video up into more important matches, I guess. So now we're against Ian, obviously one of the best players in the world. I think we definitely want to include this one. Let's see, Ian, it looks like he's playing minor poison, goes for a NATO on the archers. I actually think he just lost for that, because how does he defend this Xbow? Betfas can probably just fireball this bomb tower and get a lock. If I was him, that's what I would do. Yup, because he knew Ian was low in elixir. Will he catch this miner? He does. Nice. Ice Spirit miner catch. Ian does not have log in this deck. He's playing minor poison with the Golden Knight, so that's going to be pretty much a good game. I mean, basically, that was a bad tornado on Ian's end, and I mean, Ian's one of the best players in the entire world, right? But just because of that tornado, Betfas was up elixir, and he was basically able to afford that overcommit. So that's why I said that fireball would make sense, because basically Betfas was up enough elixir to the point where Ian would not be able to afford another response to the Xbow if that bomb tower was suddenly taken off the board, which, you know, a fireball would accomplish. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be GG. Even Ian says it right here. I mean, he's still going to try, of course, but I don't really think there's much left here for Ian. Archers come down, really nicely played here, as you guys can see, splitting the archers away so that they weren't susceptible to any kind of Golden Knight dash. And Betfas can actually probably Xbow with these archers because he did keep them alive. In fact, he very well could right here. Because they are counter pushing, and he does. Very nice stuff there. So Ian does go for the NATO bomb tower. Another fireball could come down to seal the deal, and it does. And Ian is just going to take another lock. I mean, Ice Spirit does get caught with the Ice Spirit. Very well played out of Betfas. Even if the Ice Spirit connected, Ian didn't have anything in hand. Goes for a miner on the King Tower. Ian is going to give up. Have you guys ever seen Ian77 give up? I don't think I have in quite a while, but Betfas just punished very well there. I think Ian just maybe committed a bit too much early on. But this kind of matchup anyways is, you know, pretty easy to deal with Xbow because they don't have a log. Their last card is Poison, if you can see Ian's deck. So generally speaking, as long as you just keep pressure in this matchup, they can't really kill Xbows very well. And especially if you catch them overcommitting to even one minor push, you can pretty much punish them big time because they just don't really have very easy Xbow defense. That was very easily exploited here, as you guys can see in this match, because Betfas just, you know, punished Ian very well for one small overcommit. That's going to be a really nice win against Ian, one of the best players in the entire world. I believe he's much higher than Betfas on ladder right now, so that should be a very nice trophy gain. Alright guys, so Betfas is at 3,500 rating right now, getting really close, getting really high up. That match against Ian put him up like plus 40 or something, so that was incredible. We do see the Xbow in the middle right now against OP Sam. OP Sam goes for the E-Giant. We could see a Tesla in the corner here out of Betfas. That's a play that I've seen made, although it looks like it's a bit too early for it. Thankfully, the Archer isn't in E-Giant range, and really nice skeletons there. They don't look like they did much, but they actually kept the Archer alive against Sam's Archer, which basically allowed Betfas to take 0 damage, of course. That was a really nice play. And Sam looks like he's going to be playing the really ridiculous, stupid E-Giant Balloon deck. If you guys don't know, that's been really making the rounds recently. I really hate it, honestly, but yeah, Betfas goes for another Xbow here, outcycled the E-Giant, so Sam does have a Balloon. Goes for a Knight as well, though. This is really nice because actually that Knight is going to get some chip, and that Fisherman is going to pull the Knight into tower range. That Knight is going to get a lot of chip, actually. Another hit comes down, and that is effectively an Xbow lock, if you think about it, because he was able to get some damage, right? And that was just really well played, honestly. Like, Knight to protect the Xbow, also because the Fisherman would whisk it over, giving Sam less time to react. Obviously, didn't have enough elixir for the archers in time, and Betfas was able to get some Knight chip. So that's actually pretty much going to be very major. That could actually be the difference maker in a match like this. So that was very, very well played out of Betfas. And yeah, we'll see what is going to happen in the rest of this match here, because honestly I don't really like this matchup at all. I mean, obviously Sam has the Gold Knight, which is a really good counter. He has E-Giant and Balloon, 2 big Xbow counters, and he does also have arrows for the archers. Notice Betfas is splitting his archers though, because one way against arrows decks is to split your archers. That way they can't really hit them both, you know. But yeah, Betfas does also have some saving graces here because I've actually been figuring out this match a bit more myself as well, and pre-Teslas are pretty good because they don't have a big spell. Pre-Teslas can be pretty solid in a matchup like this. Fisherman does whisk the knight up. Betfas goes for the Xbow. Tries to log the golden out of Xbow range. Sadly did not get it done, but the attempt was there. E-Giant comes down, definitely going to have to let this die. And Tesla in the middle to pull. Now Sam could go for a balloon, and he does. So Betfas' options here are either to fireball it into the Tesla or go for an Xbow. Does opt for the Xbow, which makes sense. Sadly, Tesla is dead, but new pair of archers come down. And archers are so broken right now, so, you know, they DPS that balloon down like nobody's business. And that's just going to be a pretty easy defensive sequence. So, again, you know, as pre-Tesla is pretty important. But even if you don't have a Tesla in cycle or you pre-Tesla, you can pull the balloon into your previous Tesla with an Xbow. That's some play that I always make, especially against Lumberloon. But really against any balloon deck, it does work out. Obviously against Lava Loon, you're not really going to be going for pre-Teslas much, but yeah. Might see an Expo here, we do, because Sam went for balloon arrows, super aggressive, and Betfas knows he doesn't have enough elixir for the E-Gen right now, so really crucial moment right here. Betfas might get a huge lock. In fact, I predict he might actually go for another Expo on the left and get a huge punish, because Sam is back to an E-Giant right now, but it looks like he doesn't want to go for it. Log on the archers and goes for a balloon. Betfas might Expo on the left, very well could. That's what I would do if I was him, because Sam does not have enough for the E-Giant, and that's a huge lock, and Sam does not have a reset right here, so counting elixir by Betfas just immaculate right here, and that's going to be pretty much good game, because what can Sam really do against this log? He doesn't have a reset, he doesn't have any big spells. That's going to be a wonderful, wonderful punish out of Betfas there. Great sequence, one bad overcommit on Sam's end, that balloon arrows. Betfas capitalized like crazy. Wonderful game against E-Giant Balloon there. Alright guys, found a game against Droy. Oh, this is one of my friends, Mr. Cena. He's playing RG Cycle, so it's going to be very interesting to watch, because actually Betfas did lose to him about an hour ago, so this is going to be Betfas' chance for revenge. Betfas is currently at 3,530 medals or so, top 20 in the world right now, but obviously he wants to go for higher. I think he said he wants to go for a top 10 finish, and oh my god, actually he does catch Droy without enough elixir for RG, so that is actually crazy, because that is pretty much going to be a good game. I actually didn't even really watch that very well. I guess you guys can rewind the video and see how that sequence happened, but wow. Okay, this is going to be a really tight defense though. Betfas does get a knight down last second. Look at that beautiful knight right in front of the Royal Ghost, and skeletons above the knight, above the RG, to mitigate damage. That was a wonderful little micro defense there out of Betfas, and if that ghost killed the archers, that would have been very different. Betfas would have taken like at least 3 or 4 more RG hits, if not more. But just that really wonderful last second timing there, you know, and that's what separates, you know, Betfas from everyone else. Number one, I would say the biggest thing that separates him is he knows what to do, obviously, like macro, because that's the biggest thing with Expo, like knowing when to Expo, when to let it die, all of that stuff. But I would say the other thing is that his micro is just really on point, and he's really creative with his solutions sometimes, and I really like that. Like that knight archer's push, that just looked so clean, you know? Anyway, we are probably going to see a knight on the fisherman. Okay, no knight on the fisherman, should see a log to kill the fisherman, yup. And then Ghost does survive. Ice Spirit comes in, a wonderful Ice Spirit to heal everything, or freeze everything rather, and then perfect skeleton surround on the RG and Ghost. Betfas' micro is just incredible, honestly. Like, these kind of situations, this is usually when I would take some chip against RG, honestly. Like, this is not an easy micro defense to go with, especially when you're down elixir like Betfas was after going for that fireball, but he did manage to get it done. Really well played, especially really nice Ice Spirit freezing everything over. And again, this game is pretty much over because Droy can't really do much. And really nice Expo out of Betfas because, as I said in the minor poison match, even though you do have a lead in one lane, usually you never want to go same lane as your opponent. If you want Expo on the left there, Droy could have just gone Lightning on the Expo plus the weak tower of Betfas's, so that's why he kind of just let it go. And also he does take some chip there on the right, not bad at all, honestly. We do see a high Tesla, so RG is going to come in to snipe it, but this is going to be really easy to defend, honestly. And Betfas just stacking archers like crazy right now. Notice that as well. Expo comes down because Droy is not back to his RG, and notice how Betfas did go for the Ice Spirit separated from the archers there, and Expo is going to lock on, not enough elixir in time for the RG out of Droy. That's going to be GG. Pretty much picture perfect game against this matchup. I need to rewatch this a few times because I really hate this matchup. Betfas just played it like crazy, so yeah, even Droy is surprised. That was really crazy though, just win in single basically. That's what he told me as well. Basically Expo's main chance is in single, so that was really well played by Betfas there. Going to be another great win. Alright guys, Betfas is number 10 right now, and he's against Morten. This is what everyone has been waiting for. Morten is like the best player in the world, you know, one of the best players in the world, number 2, you could say. Playing Minor Poison, basically his best deck, and the best deck in the meta as well, you know, the same one that Kuri was playing earlier. But Betfas did beat Kuri, so let's see what we're going to get here. Tesla should take care of everything, I hope. And it does barely take care of that archer, but Betfas logs just to be safe. Morten is being very aggressive early on, you know, with that minor push. But Betfas, let's see what he wants to do, actually. I want to see how he approaches this. Goes for a center Tesla. Because I think just spamming Xbows wouldn't really do great. I mean, that's what I would do, you know, trying to get a huge Expo lock in single. But Morten is holding on to his Mighty Miner and Poison, which is smart, because he knows Betfas has an Expo. He wants to save his counter to the Expos. He's playing very passively, but also a bit aggressive with the miners. So I want to see how Betfas plays this as well, to see how he kind of builds up an advantage, and basically does not really allow Morten to get any kind of advantage at all. And looks like so far he's just playing super passive, no Expos in single, just center Tesla. Now goes for an Expo because he does have the Knight counter pushing, makes sense. Ice for it to reset the Mighty Miner charge, and Archer should actually do a pretty good job at taking this out. Actually, this should be a pretty big lock, honestly. Archers come down, log on the archers though, that's going to be a nice lock. We should see Wallbreakers out of Morten very soon, and we do. One should get taken out, but yeah, sadly Wallbreakers are so broken against Expo. If you don't have a login cycle, you can't really do anything about it. I wonder if Betfas had an Ice Spirit in cycle there, because if he did, he could have prediction Ice Spirited on the Wallbreakers, buying himself a little bit more time, but it should be okay either way. I mean, that's a huge lock, and that is going to be pretty big. So yeah, really nice lead against Morten right here. And again, center Tesla, wow, interesting. For me in this matchup, I usually go high Tesla, you know, one tile down from the river. But I guess Betfas wants to go for center Tesla. Actually, really important, small detail there. I think that center Tesla will hit miners on the inner corners of the tower. So, you know, the edge next to the king tower, I think that Tesla will hit it. So maybe that's why he's going for it. Fireball cycle on the Mighty Miner, very smart, because, you know, he already has this damage. Doesn't want to Expo to give Morten a free poison, so just fireballs instead. You know, really nice stuff. Skeletons predict the miner, and let's see what Betfas does from here. Goes to Ice Spirit for the Wallbreakers, Knight for the goblins, low archers come down, and that should pretty much be... Okay, my software update. Don't mind that, guys. We are back, though. I'm probably going to have to blur that out, but... yeah, I got a random pop-up. But anyways, Betfas hasn't gone for another Expo ever since. Okay, we do see the Mighty Miner coming down finally, so Morten is getting very aggressive, you know, using his miner. Betfas might go for an Expo here in the right. That's what I think I would do if I was him, because... Okay, actually, no, he's being really patient. Wow. Really patient out of Betfas here. Another low center Tesla. I guess he really wants to ride this lead in the left and just make the most of it. Like, he's not really being too aggressive, but I think he does need to start pressuring in the right. Yeah, exactly, because Morten is just going to spam these minor poisons, and you can't really allow that to happen. Well, lots of archer chip in the left, actually. That's going to help Morten catch up big time. Tesla comes down for, hopefully, the bomb tower. We're going to see some low archers. Might see another Expo out of Betfas in the left here. No, actually just sees the poison. So I think Betfas can Expo with this Tesla once the Expo dies. Yeah, split archers to cycle back and not leak elixir, and then Expo should be coming down any second here. Keep the pressure up, especially because Morten's low on elixir and his cycle is a bit messed up, you know, not having the poison there. We should see a fireball on this Mighty Miner, I think, just to get some damage. Okay, we don't actually, but Betfas is still, you know, trying to commit to this. Should see a log on the archers, skeletons for the miner. We might see a tiny lock here. No, we don't, because the archers are really broken. But again, another Expo is back. Betfas just unrelenting with this pressure. Bomb tower comes down with the high poison this time. Should see a log on the Wallbreakers. Yeah, we do last second log, although one does connect. Unfortunately, if that didn't connect, that would have forced out even more elixir. But as you guys can see, fireball out of Betfas there, because you do need to start getting damage. If you don't fireball cycle and they just poison cycle, you'll just get screwed. So we do see stacked archers really nice out of Betfas there, because he wants to force Morten to poison or get punished, basically, because stacked archers can get a lot of value, of course. And notice how he is saving this Knight for the miner every single time. This is so crucial in this matchup. You want to save Ice Spirit Knight for every single miner in triple if you can, because you just cannot afford to take that damage. You simply can't. So another Ice Spirit miner should come down. Actually, no, because center Tesla does take it out. So we are going to see another Expo instead. Knight to predict the bomb tower. Tesla will take care of the Wallbreakers. So this is going to be everything here. Betfas needs to fireball the tower. Also needs to catch this miner, and he does. He knows the miner's coming down in that spot. Knight comes down. We should see a fireball on the tower very soon, I think, to get some damage. And maybe right now, and then he can get back to a second fireball later. Yeah, we do see a fireball first, and Betfas can basically get back to a second fireball before Morten can back to a second poison. So Morten is going to poison once. Betfas can fireball, though, so I think Betfas should have this in the bag, I hope. Ice Spear to reset the miner, and oh my god, okay, he wins by 15 HP against Morten. That is ridiculous, but he basically knew exactly what he was doing, you know, that last second fireball. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. 15 HP win against Morten in the top 10. That should put him in like the top 5 or something now, I think. That's just incredible. I need to take a minute to take in that win. That was wonderful stuff. Alright guys, only one ranking update. He went from number 10 to number 9 after that win against Morten, but into our final match against Retire here, I think. Betfas is down 2,000 HP. Sadly, I missed the start of this match. I apologize for that, guys, but Tesla comes down on the Skeleton King. We have to see how he can catch up in this matchup because he is down so much right here. And Retire is one of the best players, I think. I'm not sure if he's Luminary. I think he is probably Luminary, but I don't know for sure. But he's obviously a really good player either way. Anyway, Xbow comes down because Retire is low in Elixir. Mortar comes down. This actually might be an Xbow that gets a huge log, considering he's up so much right there. Yeah, Miner comes down, but he's just down so much Elixir right now. Betfas is up so much. He goes Knight, and he can go for another Xbow in the right there. So actually, I think Retire might already be screwed. Honestly, Xbow should come down any second right here. And I don't know what he can do. Yeah, Xbow comes down, and Archers to break the Marcher, and Xbow in the left is also going to be alive. So looks like what Retire wanted to do was hopefully catch Betfas off guard. Oh, Xbow is not going to lock on. I thought it was on tower, actually, but Log comes down. That's going to be on tower now. Miner comes down. Does get caught by the Skeleton. We should see a Knight to catch the Miner, or rather to catch the Archers, hopefully. Nope. But Retire's at 2 right now. Oh my god. Another Xbow is incoming, and should see a Knight to predict the Marcher, maybe, because Retire basically wanted to Marcher that one Xbow because he knew that if he got it off and Betfas didn't predict it, he would have basically won, because he would have gotten so much damage and gotten even more tower damage. But Betfas did thankfully predict with the Archers, and he's just being super aggressive right now in this matchup. I guess because Retire doesn't have a big spell. That's Betfas' biggest saving grace. New Xbow comes down. Oh, Marcher has to tank for the Xbow. That's never something you ever want to have. And that should be GG with this log. Yeah, both Xbows are in tower. Oh my god. Betfas just came back like crazy. And I guess, like, he basically just punished. Like, I mean, he just was super aggressive all the time. And I guess it worked out. You know, I apologize. I missed the start of the match, guys. I was just kind of late and busy. But we are going to see another win out of Betfas there. That's going to put him number 7 in the world. 3,603 medals. That's going to be it for the video pretty much, because I think Betfas told me he just wants to sit for a top 10. So number 7 end season, incredible stuff. Basically the best 3.0 Cycle player in the world this season. Betfas is like that, you know, he doesn't always play 3.0, but when he does, he usually does incredible. It's been Titan for a while, but Betfas looks like he's back. You know, the only one who reached 3,600 plus. So wonderful stuff there. Very impressive games against Morten, against everyone. So that's gonna be it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for Betfas for coming on that channel again. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.